Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I'm really enjoying my Dutch pour blooms. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a very, very pale, delicate painting. I'm going to do a pearl white base. I'm going to use some pinks and some purpley colours to make some really, I think, quite faint flowers. And I'm going to use some cell activator on top to try and create some lacing. Now, all my paints are now mixed with PVA glue and water. So I want to know if cell activator made using Australian Floetrol will work with the PVA glue mixture. So it definitely works when I use Floetrol, but I'm not using that anymore. So I want to see if Australian Floetrol works as a cell activator with PVA glue pouring medium. So let me show you the colours I've chosen. The colours I'm going to use, I'm going to do a base of this colour, Graduate Acrylic Pearl White. And then I'm going to make my blooms with Amsterdam Persian Rose, and Amsterdam Permanent Red Violet. Also, I've got some of this, which is Montmartre Gold. So I've mixed everything with PVA glue water pouring medium. So it's 2 to 1, 2 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint, and then to about half a part water. So it's quite thin, quite runny. Then I've made, in this little jar, I've got some cell activator, which is 3 to 1, 3 parts Australian Floetrol to 1 part white Amsterdam paint. So I'm going to use a 30 centimetre canvas, so quite small. So I can show you a bit more easily the consistency here. Nice and fluid, but it's definitely got some thickness to it. I've been finding my Dutch pours have been separating, the paints have been splitting because they've been too thin with my PVA pouring medium. So it's all a bit of an experiment to try and get the consistency of this right. Right, I'm going to blow that out with the hairdryer. I'm just going to put some gloves on, but before I do, I want to show you my nails. So I ran London Marathon on Sunday, 2 days ago. My daughter made me a little London bracelet. So I want to protect my London nails, my Union Jack nails, as long as possible. So I'm going to put some gloves on. Right, so I've got the 3 colours here. My instinct is telling me to put the dark pink on the bottom. So I think I'm going to go dark pink, then gold, then light pink, then cell activator. Although, would the cell activator be better on top of the dark? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm going to go the other way. Let's do a little practice one on the corner, because if it doesn't work, I can then scrape this and do it again. So I'm just putting a little drop of each of the colours, probably 2 spots of that one, and then just a single spot of cell activator in the centre. And then I'm going to blow that white cell activator in all directions across the colours. Right, it's definitely worked. I didn't get a particularly good direction there. Now, it didn't flow particularly well, and I think that's because there wasn't enough base coat on. I actually blew off quite a lot of the base coat. So I feel like I'm missing, it's a bit thin. Okay, I like the order though. I think that has worked well. Right, I'm actually going to scrape that. And I'm going to put some more base coat on. Now, there was quite a bit of paint here. So what I can do is just try and collect some of that up and put it onto the canvas. that's now a thicker base coat, so I just want to see if that will work better. So this time I'm going to do lots of spots, maybe a little bit more. Let's try 2 spots of each colour as well. I just felt there wasn't enough paint. Right, it's really, really pretty. You definitely don't get quite the same lacing though as you would do if you used Flood Floetrol. But what I'm wondering is if I actually torch in the centre, I think I'm going to get quite a few extra cells up because I can see the colours underneath. Yeah, there you go. Colours all coming through. It's not really the lacing that you get when you use Australian Floetrol. It's a bit different. It's lots of little tiny cells, but actually really, really pretty. So I'm torching just right in the centre, and it just breaks up those blocks of white, and then the dark colours coming through. So what I'll do now is with a straw, I'm just going to blow around the edges of the flowers just to get a slightly better shape, just to try and close up some of the gaps. What I'm going to do is just draw or pull in the paint in certain places, just very subtly, to give the appearance of some petals. So it's just dividing the blooms up slightly, the flower. So just I've got some petals, and then what I would do is just do some little twirly bits between the flowers and actually try and get the flowers to all link up, because it's a plain base and I think it will look better if they're all linking up in some way. This is so pretty. Really happy with it. It's slightly darker, the pink, than I think I was imagining. I think I was imagining just more baby pink showing through, but the darkness is really coming through, but that gives the contrast. Really like the little swirly bits. You might not like them, but I just felt like the flowers, the blooms were too separate and they just needed to be pulled together so that the composition was better. The centres are really pretty. You don't get the lacing in the same way as you would do if there was Flood Floetrol in this mixture. I don't actually think it matters though, because you still get beautiful effects, really pretty effects. So really looking forward to this drying. It'd be interesting to see how the colours come through, because I think it will go darker. So actually the dark purple will show up even more. But really happy with the balance of the gold. There's only a little bit of gold showing. Yeah, really happy with that. So I'll be back when it's dry. I think this piece is so pretty. It's so delicate and it's so soft. I'm really feeling inspired, and I'm already thinking about what other colours I can do this in. I'm wanting to try it with a turquoisey colour, maybe a baby blue colour. I just quite like the softness of it, so it's not too bright. It's obviously quite compact, quite full on, quite crazy in terms of there's no negative space, but I really like that. The colours, it didn't dry a lot darker. I was expecting to get a lot more of that really dark purple showing through, but I think it's dried very similarly to when it was wet. So you can see the sort of netting, like a meshwork of the white over the top. So as I said earlier, it's not the lacing that you get with the Australian Floetrol normally, but it's pretty. It would be interesting to do this again, but without the Australian Floetrol cell activator, to see if you get natural lacing, just blowing the colours over each other. Love, love, love the little swirls, really like them. I know a lot of artists don't like interfering with their paintings, but I really think that it works well. And now look at this base. So the pearl white is beautiful. So it looks a kind of creamy ivory colour, not really white, but it's really iridescent. And you can see the gold, the shine of the gold as well. So actually when this is either resined or varnished, it will really sparkle and come to life even more. And as you can see, the flowers just sort of drip down the edges. So I am really happy, really inspired. What do you think? Can you think of a colour scheme that you think this technique would work well with? Please let me know in the comments. Great, take care everyone, bye.